Good morning and welcome to Slow Flow. I'm really glad you're here. My name is Kristin, and today I wanted to read, look at the back of my cover fell off, so we know we are reading this book. So today's reading is titled Honor the Seasons of Your Soul. So seasons are changing. We've got daylight savings this weekend. We have a full moon. So there's a lot going on. So I'd like to take some chest and heart openers, really expanding the front of our body. And so I've got it set up. You could recline onto a bolster or some pillows or a rolled up blanket and let the shoulders fall back, the palms come up nice and wide. So that's where we'll begin our practice today. And I want to read from you, from Melody Beattie's Journey to the Heart. I want to read to you, Honor the Seasons of Your Soul. There are seasons and cycles in our lives, just as there are seasons and cycles to nature. We move from one to the other, learning, growing, laughing, and crying along the way. We accept with joy the seasons of nature. We honor them. We wouldn't think of pulling at the tiny blades of grass in early spring to force their growth. Neither would we chastise them for growing too slowly or waiting or wilting with the frost in autumn. We can learn to recognize and honor the seasons and cycles in ourselves. The answers will come, small glimpses at first. Like the first tender shoots of grass, we get an idea, a clue, a hint of what we're about to learn. Then comes a series of experiences. Sometimes we immediately see the connection, sometimes we don't. We go about the business of our lives. Then one day we see that tiny shoot has become a full-grown blade of grass, a rolling lawn covering the landscape. We see the connections, the lessons, and will honor the feelings that we had along the way. We are different, we are changed, we are new, a new season has arrived. And just when we think that the way it is now is the way it will be forever, another season begins. As naturally as the last did, it too will build on what has already happened and create something new. So let's honor this new season throughout our practice. I want you to notice where you took your arms. Maybe take them a little bit higher as if you're coming into like a snow angel. Let the shoulders roll back. Feel the lift of the heart, the opening of the heart for this new season. A season unlike we have never had before. We don't know what it's like to move into winter amidst a pandemic. We don't know what this will feel like, what this means for our businesses, our health, our jobs, our family. But I know one thing for certain, we can continue to show up on our mat, to work through what we feel in our time off of our mat. Let's take a few breaths to join together as a community, even when we are far apart. Take an inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Good, breathe in. And breathe out. One more full breath in. And let it go. Good, let's roll off to our right side here and move these props out of the way. I want to take one of my favorite mid-back kind of twist openers. So what we're going to do, I'm actually going to bring the pillow underneath my head. So we're on our right side body. Right arm is down, palm is up. Bring the left hand to the right hand, and let's just open it up. And exhale. So our gaze follows the left hand. Inhale as it opens. Exhale. Good. Inhale one more time. And exhale. Good. Let's take this on the other side. So let's roll to our backs here and just rest for a moment. Soles of the feet together, knees open up wide. And so feel how this, versus having your back reclined onto a bolster, just feel the back connected with the mat. And now let's roll to our left side body. Right hand comes to meet the left. And as you inhale, follow the gaze, open up the right arm. And exhale, gaze follows to close. Good. 2 more rounds with your next 2 breaths. One more round here. Good, let's roll to our back here. And this time, let's keep the arms out nice and wide to a T, and just drop the knees over to the right. You might take your gaze to the left. What also feels good for me, taking the right hand to the top of the left knee, kind of giving a little downward pressure. If we were in studio together and COVID wasn't a thing, this is my favorite assist, taking one hand on the knee, the other hand on the opposite shoulder, and kind of that downward pressure in opposite directions, knees one way, left shoulder the other way. It feels so good. So we try to recreate that with our self-assist here. Good, let's take our arms out nice and wide once again. Bring the knees up to center. And just take a breath here. Sticking with this twist and heart opening theme today. Drop the knees to the left. Gaze can start to come right, and you can always take that left hand to the top of the right knee for that downward pressure. Breathe well here. One more breath in. Stay for the exhale. Let's come on back to center here. Bring the knees in for a squeeze. Take a little rock side to side. Let this movement you take give a little massage to the low back. It always feels really good. What we're going to do here is you can take your hands behind your knees, and you can take this rock and roll along the length of your spine, only if this feels good for your body. Eventually, we'll end in a tabletop position. Knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the wrists. Just move here. Again, as it gets a little colder, I notice that really resonating, or residing, I should say, that's the right word, residing in my body, that I get tension, I tense or clench my jaw, my chest kind of curls in a little bit, my shoulders roll in. Take a few more rounds of movement here. So honoring the time on our mat to let go of that tension that resides in our body. Maybe warming up our space, or like last week's practice, taking a space with another layer of clothes or a blanket over your shoulders. Let's come to our downward facing dog here. Take about a handprint forward. Let's start by building this pose. Pointer fingers, I should say, are parallel with one another. And find a little bit of pocket of air underneath the palm. So you're really pushing into this part of your hand, the ball mound just underneath the pointer finger and the thumb. Good. Now tuck the toes, let the hips come high. I invite you to take a step in. So maybe make this a little bit of a shorter down dog than you traditionally do. And then take a step out. So in and out, wider stance. Head is heavy in between the biceps. And push the chest back towards the thighs. Good. Down dog always, my first one of the day always makes me want to yawn. So kind of honor and notice the feelings that coming into this posture bring to your body. Let's bring our feet into the center of our mat here and draw the right hand towards the center of the mat. What we're going to do here is take the right foot to the upper right hand corner, both hands to the inside. Wiggle those left toes back and drop the left knee on down. I'm reaching for my block here. And last week we stayed really nice and grounded, so closer to the mat. Today I want to lift. So lift the torso, lift the heart. So this might mean a different variation. Perhaps you take your hands to your low back, like your hands are in your pockets. You could take goalpost arms. Easing into this though, I want you to not go too deep. We take a little lift of the gaze, lift and opening of the heart. Good, let's come out of this. So let's bring left hand down to the inside of your right foot. Tuck the right, or left toes, pardon me, coming into a twist. Right hand to low back, gaze follows towards the right shoulder, or reach the gaze towards, or the hand and the gaze towards the ceiling. You know what I'm saying here. Good. All right, let's bring the right hand down to meet the left. Drop the left knee down. We're coming back to our Anjaneyasana low lunge. So lift again. And I want you to notice after that twist, do you feel any difference? Good. All right, let's come back. I want to access the other side via our downward facing dog. So tuck the left toes, bring the right knee or right foot back to meet your left, and feel this out. Maybe you take that wide stance, down dog again. Bend into the knees. Head is heavy. Good, let's take the feet towards the center of the mat here. Move the left hand in to make some space. Left foot to the outside edge of the mat. Drop the right knee on down. And lift. Breathe well here into kind of the sensations you feel. For me, I'm feeling a lot of tightness in the hips and the pelvis. Maybe hands to low back. Breathe into the space where you feel that tension. Envision it opening. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Good, we come down here into this twist. Right hand comes to the mat, tuck the right toes. This gives us a little bit more space. If by all means you can keep that knee down, left hand to low back, gaze follows, or gaze towards the ceiling. Good. Unravel here, left hand Comes down to the inside, revisit our low lunge. Lift the gaze, lift the heart. Great work, you guys. Let's come back to our downward facing dog. Tuck the right toes, create some space. Bring the left foot back to meet the right. Good. Drop the knees down nice and wide. Bring the big toes towards one another. Child's pose. Breathe well. Notice if you have any tension in the jaw. Shake the lower jaw out. Release that tension. Good. Let's come on up to tabletop. Align the hips over the knees. Then just start to, from tabletop, slide the hands forward to drop the chest and heart down. Breathe well into the shoulders, the chest. Good, one more breath in. Let it go. Slide the hands back in. Good. Just take some movement here. Maybe stillness, maybe a drink of water. Good. We're going to take kind of a variation of a moon salutation in honor of the full moon. So let's come to downward facing dog. We'll just utilize this to get up to standing. Good. Take a breath in with me and a full breath out. Take the gaze forward, bend your knees, and as you exhale, just take lots of little steps to get towards the top of your mat. Good. Hands to shins, halfway lift, forward fold. Slow rise here, my friends. Let the arms dangle. Head is heavy. Good. Once you arrive, standing upright, give a few rolls of the shoulders. Good. So we're going to start here at the top of our mat. We are going to do a few things from this moon salutation and a few different movements as well. So as you inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Interlace your hands and release the pointer fingers. So we're going to grow nice and tall and then lean to the right for our standing half moon. As you inhale, come back up through center, lean to the left. We'll do the majority of the work along the length of our mat today. Come back up through center. Good, bring your hands to your heart. Keeping your right foot forward, step your left foot back into our goddess pose. So you may want to just shift the mat lengthwise to face the camera here. Good. Let's take both hands over our heart space and just take this sway side to side. Check in with what you need in this practice. Thank yourself for showing up. Know that I am grateful for you. Good, let's move side to side one more time. Good. Straighten into the legs. Take all 10 toes towards the long edge of the mat. Reach the arms out. We've got our star pose. Good. Let's pivot. Right toes towards the short edge, original top edge of our mat. Shift those hips, find your triangle pose. I'm reaching for my block here. Reach the left arm up. I want you to envision this posture from your heart space here. Good. Really lengthening or doing your best to lengthen the right side body. Reaching with the left fingertips. Good. Let's float, I meant to say, the left hand down to meet the right. Just take the right hand to the low back here. This twisted Parvita Trikonasana, twisted triangle, or revolve triangle. Good. All right, so what we're going to do is come into our lunge. So from here, we can just pivot the left heel to lift, bend into the right knee, and we'll kind of gently come out of this twist to reach our arms up overhead. Good. Goal post your arms, offer your heart up. Good. Bring hands to hips. Straighten into the right leg. Hop those left feet. Hop your left foot in. And we've got our pyramid pose here. So draw the right hip back as the left hip shifts forward. Lean on into this. Good. Breathe well. Into our pyramid pose. We just took our high lunge. We're going to move into our low lunge here. So scoot those left toes back, heel toe the right foot out, drop the left knee down, lift the arms, Anjaneyasana. So we've already taken this pose. I want you to feel the depth. Good. Bring the hands down to a block or to the mat. Tuck the left toes. We're coming into our side lunge here. So pivoting once again towards the long edge of our mat. Deep bend into the right knee. Extend the left leg. And you might reach the arms up. To start, if the balance is unsteady, like mine, that's okay. Good old block. And I'd like to invite you into a twist here. Right arm comes down to the inside, open to the left. Gaze follows those left fingertips again. All right, moving into our malasana. I'm setting up my block here, pushing into my right foot, heel toeing the feet in, coming to a seat on my block or some pillows, whatever feels best for you. This is the center of the sequence, and we will take it off to the other side. Good. Just like we did in the beginning of class, let's take those openings. Let's take our right hand to our left. And as you inhale, open up. Gaze follows the hand. Exhale, bring it in. Good. One more round. Right arm to the inside of right leg. Let's take it 2 times on this side. Inhale to open. And exhale. Great job, you guys. Inhale to open. And exhale. Good. We're going to start to shift and take the sequence off to the left side. So ground into the feet, lift the hips. We're taking that big side lunge. Left knee, bring the block or something to stabilize you here along for the ride. Left arm comes to the inside. Reach with the right fingertips. Take the gaze out towards the fingertips and beyond. Bring the right hand down. Pivot into our low lunge here. Drop the right knee down. Lift the arms. Good. One more breath here. Excellent. We find our pyramid pose. So tuck the back toes, straighten into the left leg, hop the back foot in here. Good. Draw the left hip back. Breathe well. One more round. All right, let's come upright here. We're coming into our high lunge. Rebend that left knee and scoot the right toes back. Good. Arms reach up overhead. Lift the heart here. Perhaps you find those goalpost arms. Good. Hands to hips. We come into our triangle here. So start to straighten into the left leg. Take that right heel down. Shift the hips back. And reach with the left fingertips. We'll get that twisted triangle into. Reach. Feel length. Feel opening. One more breath here. Our Trikonasana. And as you exhale, float the right hand down to meet the left. Left hand to low back. Take this twist. Offer the heart up to that left side. Feel that great stretch to the outside of the left leg. Good, come back. All right, we're lifting up and out to our star pose. Shift those left toes to meet the right. Reach the fingertips. Good, hands to hips. Heels in, toes out, goddess pose. Good work. Excellent. Hands to heart, find that sway. Good job. Straightening into your legs. We'll just heel toe the feet in here to take our standing half moon at the center of our mat. As you inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Interlace the hands, release the pointer fingers, reach. And this time we'll start with going to the left. Good. Roll the right shoulder back in space a little bit. You can even take the gaze right. Come back up through center. Lean to the right. Roll the left shoulder back. Good. Up through center. And bring your hands to your heart. Good. We're going to take it one more time, starting with left side, then moving to the right. You're certainly welcome to take this, kind of to make that circular motion on your mat. So we'll take just our mountain pose here to start. Heel toe the feet out a little bit. Palms shine forward. As you inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. We'll move a little bit quicker this round. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, lean to the right. Inhale through center. And exhale to the left. Good. Inhale through center. And exhale, hands to heart. Step it out. Goddess pose. You know it. 3 of 4. Good. Let's keep our hands right here at our heart and just take that sway. Give them a little rub. Generate some heat. All right. Find stillness. Straighten into your legs, all 10 toes. Find your star pose. Shift those left toes. Shimmy the hips back. Reach with the left fingertip. Left arm comes down. Right arm reaches up. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, find your twisted triangle. Right hand meets the left. Left hand to low back. Inhale, twist. Let's stay for the exhale here. Good. Inhale, come back down, hands to hips. Pivot, bend into the left knee and pivot onto the right toes. Lift the torso, high lunge. Reach the arms up. Good. This time, let's interlace the hands at the low back. Draw the knuckles down by your tailbone and away. Lift the gaze, lift the heart. Excellent. You can keep your hands interlaced here. Coming into our pyramid pose, so straighten into the left leg. Hop that right foot in a little bit. Draw the left hip back. Lean on into this. Lots of core work here. Good. Gaze straight down. If this is too much, doesn't feel so good for me. I need some more support. So I'm reaching for my block. Continually, I cannot say this enough, to get this full benefit of our pyramid pose to the back of the left leg, I want you to draw. Take the left thumb into the left hip crease. Pull it back. Good. As you do that, shift that right hip forward. All right, what we're coming into is low lunge here. Bend into the left knee, shoot those right toes back. Drop the right knee down. Let's interlace the hands once again. Draw the knuckles down and away. Lift the heart. All right. Bring the hands this time to the inside of the left foot. Tuck the right toes. We pivot towards the long edge of the mat. Side lunge here. I feel much better when I face the camera. Good. Let's take that Skandasana twist. Left arm down, right arm reaches. Maybe you go a little bit further with your gaze and your fingertips. Awesome. Let's set up our block for our Malasana here. Heel toe those feet in. Take a seat. Both arms come to the inside here. And let's just stay for 3 breaths. Full breath in and out. Good, deepest breath yet. And let it go. All right, let's take it to the right. Push down into the feet. Heel toe them out. Deep bend into that right knee. Take that twist a little bit further. Left fingertips, left arm grows long. All right, come on into our low lunge here. Pivot towards the short edge of the mat. Drop the left knee down. Interlace the hands at the low back. Good. Just notice how with these repeated attempts at these shapes, how we feel a little bit more open. Great work. Tuck the toes. We come into our pyramid pose here. So straighten into the right leg. Hop the left foot in a little bit. Again, bring the right thumb into the right hip crease. Pull it back. Simultaneously, bring your left hip forward in space. Breathe well here. All right, next we come into our high lunge. Bend the right knee, send those left toes back. Keep that left heel lifted, lifting the back of the left leg towards the ceiling. Come on up. Good, interlace the hands. Draw them down and away. Open the heart. Notice how that makes the balance a little tricky. Good, we're coming into our triangle here. So let's straighten into the right leg. Bring that left heel down. Set the foundation here. Shimmy those hips. Reach with the right fingertips. Right arm down. Good. Left arm reaches up. Take 2 full breaths here. Good. 1 more full breath in. And full breath out. Good, float that left hand down, right hand to low back, take this twist. I can't remember if I did this on the last side. I apologize if I forgot it. We're all human, right? What's worse is I can't even remember if we just did it. Good, come back. All right, we're coming up to our star pose here. So lift up and out. Take the right toes to meet the left. Reach the arms like you are ready for a big hug. And fourth and final goddess pose here. Heels in, toes out. Good, both hands back to the heart. We're gonna find a little work here. Good, pulse it down. Find some stillness in the center and just drop the seat down for 10, 9. Good job, you guys. Wiggle those toes. This is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring your hands to your strong thighs here. Lean it forward. Drop the right shoulder and drop the left. Gaze over the right. Good. Take that one more time to each side. Excellent. Back towards center. Let's straighten into the legs. Heel, toe, the feet in. One final standing half moon. Reach the arms up. Interlace. Let's take it to the left. Good. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. And exhale, hands to heart. Wonderful job, you guys. We're going to make our way down to the mats for the last part of practice. So let's step to the original top edge of the mat. Kick your blocks over. As you inhale, sweep your arms towards your ceiling. Take this super nice and slow. Swan dive forward, bend the knees deeply. Good, heel toe the feet out nice and wide here. Let the chest, belly come in between the thighs and just take some alternating bends in the knees, kind of shifts of the hips. Good, halfway lift. And let's come back to that down dog, shorter, wider stance. Notice maybe your heels are a little closer to the mat. Good, and then maybe you walk your feet back, kind of where you might more traditionally land in your downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here and full breath out. Let's come on down to child's pose. Let the knees come wide. Sink the hips back. We did a lot of work into the shoulders here, so slide your arms or your forearms closer to your body versus reaching them far away. I want you to kind of give a little bit of rest to the shoulders. Rock your forehead side to side. Rock your head side to side so you get that nice release on the forehead. Just notice I've got something really wild going on with my hair here. I have yet to cut it during this pandemic, so it's super long. Kind of getting a little out of control. Good, it feels like a giant beehive or something. Good, take a nice full deep breath in and let it go. We are going to come up to tabletop and then just transition to your back here. So take your knees off to one side. I'm going to take a figure 4 on our back here. Cross the right ankle above the left knee and reach. Yep, my hips are pretty sore, glutes are pretty sore. So you can reach for the back of the left thigh or maybe the left shin. Good. A few more cycles of breath. Excellent job. Lower your figure 4 down. Take the feet nice and wide on your mat and rest the knees against one another, arms out wide. Just take this rest position for a moment. Good. Heel toe the feet back in. Cross the left ankle above the right knee. And find your figure four on this side. Lower that figure four down. Let's take a supine twist. So drop your knees over to the right. We'll take this just as we did in the beginning of class. Gaze can come left. You might take the right hand to find that downward pressure on the outside of the left thigh. Back through center. And drop the knees to the left, gaze to the right. Good. Come back through center. And let's find legs up the wall. So you could scoot to a physical wall to find some support, or you could just take a block or a pillow beneath your sacrum and take your feet towards the ceiling. Roll them out here, the ankles, the toes. Deep breath to help send oxygen to kind of reversing this blood flow, giving our feet a little break. Slowly start to come out of this. Lift the hips if you snuck something underneath. And then just check in to see what feels good. For me, it's always a variation of happy baby. Reminding yourself to do your best to keep all the way from your tailbone to the back of your head on the mat when you take happy baby. That allows the full length of the spine to connect with the mat. Good, my friends, check in if there's anything else you need in this practice. Otherwise, let's curl up into a tiny ball. Just like we are so cold and tense, I want you to squeeze everything, curl your toes, clench your fists, clench your jaw, hold your breath, take a full breath in. And as you exhale, we let go. Arms come out nice and wide. Legs extend long. Give a little bit of a wiggle. Good. A little bit of a big sigh to let go. So as we settle into this new season, we meet ourselves continually on our yoga mat exactly as we show up. So we don't need to compromise or change a single thing when we're on our mat. We take what feels good in the body that we are so lucky to have on this particular day. So as you settle in to your Shavasana, I will read to you that excerpt again from Journey to the Heart. Honor the seasons of your soul. There are seasons and cycles in our lives, just as there are seasons and cycles to all of life. We move imperceptibly from one to the other, learning, growing, laughing, and crying along the way. We accept with joy the seasons of nature. We honor them. We would not think of pulling at the tiny blades of grass in early spring to force their growth. Neither would we chastise them for growing too slowly or wilting with the first frost of autumn. We can learn to recognize and honor the seasons and cycles in ourselves. The answers will come, small glimpses at first, like the first tender shoots of grass. We get an idea, a clue, a hint of what we're about to learn. Then comes a series of experiences. Sometimes we immediately see the connection. Sometimes we don't. We go about the business of living our lives. Then one day we see the tiny shoot has become a full-blown blade of grass. Rolling lawn coverage. We see the connections, the lessons, and will honor all the feelings that we had along the way. We are different. We are changed. We are new. A new season has arrived. And just when we think that the way it is now is the way it will be forever, another season begins. As naturally, as imperceptibly as the last, it too will build on what has already happened and create something new. As you bring some movement into your fingers and toes, I want to close with this. There are seasons and cycles in us, just as there are in nature. Learn to recognize and honor the seasons and cycles of the soul. In your time, we will make our way to a tall seat. Taking the time you need to get there. When you arrive, we'll take both hands over our heart. Opening our heart to these new seasons, not only in nature, but in our soul as well. Again, we find gratitude for our yoga mat, for accepting us just as we are. What a gift. Thank you, as always, for showing up. I double-checked my mic was on today, so thank you so much for sticking with us at Haumea. We are so grateful for each and every one of you. We'll take our hands to one another. As always, my friends, the light and the love in me sees and honors the light and the love in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a safe and beautiful weekend with the time change, the full moon, the whole shebang. So thanks again, yogis. We'll see you soon. Bye.